he will not make more money in the NFL contract that he signs, the 3 or 4 year contract he signs, than he made in NIL in college.
All right, so what happened with Shedeur Sanders?
Well, a number of things happened. The number one thing that didn't happen was there was not a collusion message with the NFL owners.
Okay, what? Okay, a lot of people think that.
Because they wouldn't be able to keep a secret like that. And
so they might do it, but they couldn't shut up about it.
They wouldn't be able to shut up about it. But every owner is very, very selfish. Now, why would I do something to my detriment? Like if I need a quarterback and I think this kid is it, what he didn't realize is the guys that have fallen in the draft before, they all had unusual traits. Like they had some superstar qualities to them. Now, some other things happened that made them fall, but Shedeur and his family, they overplayed their hand. Them thinking that he was in the same evaluation mode as Eli Manning, they didn't play that right. Them trying to narrow the teams that he was going to go to, that didn't do right. Not working out at the combine, that wasn't the right thing. His interview process, obviously he could have done a lot better in that. Mm-hmm. A lot of people left that meeting, felt he was very, very entitled.
Which meet? Like, because they said Brian DeBall, the Giants coach, had said he didn't like the meeting. He asked him, he had some book, was his playbook or something he was supposed to know, and he said he felt weird about it. I don't know who else said they didn't like the meeting with him. Or were just people behind the scenes saying they did?
Well, the thing about it, they didn't draft him.
I know that.
So it's not the tape.
Okay, because the tape's good enough to get drafted early enough.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, his tape is good enough for him to be a first rounder. But there's a number of things. It's not one thing. Last year when Dion interviewed for the Dallas Cowboys job, that did not help Shedeur. Now, it helped Dion get a new contract in Colorado, but long-term it didn't help Shedeur because the Giants, they're coached in their last year, general manager in their last year. If they struggle, the Giants potentially, an option would be look at Dion as the head coach. So why would I draft a kid? Like, they missed out on that. Like, they obviously, they didn't think this all the way through. And I think there were a number of teams that had that in the back of their mind, and they don't believe his talent is generational. They do believe that guys are more athletic and guys have bigger arms, and they do believe he's been coddled. He's been coached by Dion his whole life. Now, there's been benefits to that, but this is the first time it's been a detriment.
So his tape, because he had last season, 4,000 yards, 37 touchdowns, NCAA leading 74% completion rate. Then he said, in his line, was his offensive line good?
Offensive line was no good.
Okay,
wide
no
receivers,
good.
3 wide receivers drafted in the NFL.
Yeah, but offensive line,
no good.
I'm getting to him. So he talked about him holding the ball too much. Sometimes people are coming to hit you, and you don't want to throw it to the other team. Is that not fair enough?
Yeah, let me talk football, though.
Yeah, I'm listening.
There's a reason why a lot of dudes hold on to the ball, too, is because the coverage has not revealed where the ball, and their anticipation is not as good as some of the other guys.
So sometimes he ate the ball is because he couldn't pick up the coverage prior to, and the defense outsmarted him.
Yes, and he likes guys to be a little more open before he lets it go, and he doesn't have a big-time arm. He's not a big guy. He's not overly athletic. So his measurables are not, say, first-round measurables, but he played football like a first-rounder.
But his tape's first-round tape, but his measurables are not first-round measurables.
Well, you don't play football all the time. You're a human being the rest of the time. And how you're going to be in the locker room, how he already came up with this line of merchandise, legendary, like he's already calling himself legendary. All those things are problems. And once the teams that weren't looking at starters, the makeup of a backup in the NFL is totally different.
I understand. I understand that he's probably not going to be fired.
The backup in the NFL, he doesn't have a media team following him. He doesn't have cameras following him. He doesn't have all these social media, all these things that they're doing.
But you wouldn't let that happen, right? The team wouldn't let that happen. If you're a back quarterback, wouldn't the team just say, you're not doing all this shit?
The team doesn't have the right to do that. The team would give you advice to say that I think you should concentrate on learning the playbook and being an NFL player, but they can't mandate what you do in your downtime.
Yeah, I mean, again, I just think for me, like I'm listening to him, and I listen. He fell. Did he fall a lot further than you thought he would fall?
Yes.
I mean,
bro, he probably. I mean, the contract situation, the signing bonus or lack of signing bonus,
the amount of money
that he missed out on. I mean, you're talking about top 5 pick. You're talking about $30 to $40 million, and then it sets you up for that next contract. They set you up for that option year, but right now he's working check to check, man. Like, he's not going to get a big signing bonus. There's not going to be a big guarantee. Any day they want to get rid of him in the week, they can get rid of him. And it's really tough when they draft someone at your position, because only one quarterback plays. It's not like wideout. It's not like DB. And then in the 3rd round, they drafted Dillon Gabriel.
Which, he's better than Shedeur. I'm asking, he's a
well,
better.
I'm just going to tell you right now, they're slotted. Draft picks are lane assignments. So he's got lane 3. Shadur drafted in lane, round 6 is in lane 8 or lane 1. He's either run out by the fence by the kids, or he's running in lane 1 where he's got to run that long turn. That's the way the game is, man.
Got a lot of work to do.
And it's hard to get to your second contract when you're working check to check.
All right, so here are the quarterbacks they're going to have in the quarterback room. Deshaun Watson, Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, Dillon Gabriel, and Shedeur. Who's going to play? Who's going to start?
I think either Shedeur or Kenny Pickett are going to start.
I would agree with that.
I think they're going to keep Joe Flacco around just long enough to give him some seasoning. But I think they're going to be in an unusual quarterback situation because they're going to have to keep 2 rookies. They're going to have to keep Dillon, and they're going to have to keep.
So why pick Shedeur after you pick Dillon?
Because value. Like, when you're trying to put your roster together and there's a kid that you can get for a 6th-round investment and put him in your locker room, and you were thinking about potentially drafting him.
No, I get why I took Shedeur. I think I was sitting there waiting. Why wouldn't somebody else grab him anyway? Why take Gabriel? You think he was a better pick for them over Shedeur at that time?
Man, something happened with the Browns between day 2 and day 3. Okay? Because with Shedeur available, and it's not like, okay, I'm prone to get a lefty, which Dillon is a lefty compared to Shedeur. The kid's got the most starts in the history of college football, Gabriel. And then Shedeur's still on the book that they can pick him up. But something had to change in their philosophy because they could have got Shedeur with the 3rd-round pick. Something changed between ownership, management, the general manager. Something changed between day 2 and day 3.
What bothers me the most about the measurables is this kid ain't been in no trouble. He ain't got no charges. He's not out. I don't know him, so I understand. I think the struggle for me is you don't guys when they walk in the NFL, don't guys just get humbled when they walk in the locker room? Even before you have to humble them, don't they walk in and look around and be like, man, don't we think Shedeur's smart enough to know he's not at Jackson State and he's not at Colorado?
No.
You don't think so?
I listened to too many of his answers. I saw too many of the outtakes. I saw too many times he was working out with other players, and he said things that I thought were highly questionable for my franchise quarterback.
So like what?
When he was working out with Cam Ward, him and Cam Ward, the number 1 pick. Hey, man, you want to cut a rap video together? No, I want to be known as a football player.
And he's like, what do you do for fun? He's like, I play football. But do you think you talk about some of the great coaches you had. Let's use Tomlin. No, we can't use that. Let's use Tomlin. He walks into Pittsburgh, which obviously is in Cleveland now. Tomlin can't control that? Or he chooses not to?
You can only control so much. If you draft a guy in the 1st round, you're also empowering whatever that is. So if he comes in, he's got a media crew, and you draft him in the 1st round, you're our quarterback, you're accepting that. So you're either teaching it or you're tolerating it.
So if he had went to the Combine, if he had good interviews, he'd have been a top. He might have gotten picked by the Giants early.
Top 10. He's not going to get by the Raiders, and he's not going to get by New Orleans.
If those things were better.
Why wouldn't you sit down with people? And something these kids never understand. Even if you're a top 10 pick, you're in the NFL for a long time. So your interview, your tape, people in the room that see you, someone can like you in the room. They might not draft you, 5, 10 years later, man.
You're looking for a guy, you're looking to trade, and they remember your interview.
Yes.
The interview you had.
It's a small world.
Did you know that when you were his age?
Yes, I knew that.
How did you learn it?
Well, I was at Ohio State, and we had extensive media training, but this whole thing with Dion and the media and everything, like, it's out of control. Like, it did not help him. It helped him make money in college because he got followers, but it actually hurt him as far as him getting a job as an NFL quarterback.
You mean as Shedeur, his social media stuff with Shedeur?
Yes.
It hurt him.
Yeah, what else hurt him? What else? What else?
Lack of ability, lack of leadership. I hear you on everything you're saying. I'm not disputing any of that as far as what you're saying and what people thought. But I'm like, I can't imagine being an NFL head coach. And like, this is my deal. I agree if you're a first round pick compared to your 6th round pick. I get.
But if you don't have to deal with it, when 99% of all your players understand that, but you got one person that you have to.
You don't think they could get him to understand that real fast? I know you've heard his interviews.
Let me tell you what he understands today.
Okay.
He ain't running shit. Okay?
Yeah.
Let me tell you what. They taught him a great lesson.
Okay.
Like, you don't have this figured out. Your dad don't have this figured out.
Who's they? NFL,
Shedeur,
the world. No, who taught? You said they taught him. I'm just curious. Like,
well, the system.
The system. Okay,
there's a system out there, man.
Okay.
Like, you're going for a job interview. So for his job interview, he was so concerned about what his outfit was. His necklace was over $100,000. Like, he hadn't even convinced people that you're the face of our franchise. Matter of fact, he had convinced people that they were better off going in a different direction, even with people who had lesser talent. That's the rub he put on the people.
If that's the case, that's a bad interview, bro.
No, it is the case. He didn't get drafted right. It's no speculation. Like, we're through the draft. We're through 3 days. He threw away at least $30 to $50 million. At least.
Dude, I just don't. And I hear you on all that. I think it's just it's unfortunate that somebody that had less ability or and especially when Dylan got picked, I was like, damn.
This is the thing. People say, well, what about Johnny Manziel? Man, Johnny Manziel beat Alabama twice.
Yeah, Johnny Manziel was
Johnny Manziel was a dude.
He was a dog. Yeah, no doubt about it. He was a different dude coming out with the resume he had. He was a different dude. I totally agree.
There's some other things coming out.
Yeah.
Shedeur threw a birthday party. None of his teammates went.
That's like the movie Draft Day. Remember the movie Draft Day? That's exactly what they said they want to draft him. They had a birthday party in Wisconsin in the fictitious movie with Kevin Costner, and they said, how many of your teammates are? He's like, I don't really remember. He's like, your 21st birthday, you don't really remember? You know? Well, hey, dude, it'll be interesting.
The contract he signs, he will not make more money in the NFL contract that he signs, the 3 or 4 year contract he signs, than he made in NIL in college. He getting ready to work for less money in pro football than he was making in college.
We'll see what kind of dude he is and how much work he puts in or not. It'll be interesting. You're not betting on it, though.
Man, we are what we do and what we say.